Role-playing games have always been a core part of gaming, and 2025 is bringing us some incredible new titles. Hey everyone, welcome to deepgor today. We're counting down the top 10 new RPGs of 2025. Kicking things off at number 10, we have Elden Ring Night Rain. This standalone adventure set in the Elden Ring universe introduces a unique cooperative roguelite experience. Players will team up in groups of 3 to navigate a procedurally generated world with a shrinking battlefield. Unlike traditional competitive battle royale-style mechanics, Night Rain focuses on cooperation, offering a fresh and exciting twist on From Software's signature gameplay. While it retains the dark fantasy setting of Elden Ring, it explores a whole new way to play. Elden Ring Night Rain is set to launch later this year on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Stay tuned as we dive into the rest of the list. At number 9, we have Where Winds Meet, an open-world action-adventure RPG from Everstone Studios and NetEase. Set in ancient China during the 5 Dynasties and 10 Kingdoms period, this game is shaping up to be something truly special. Visually, it's absolutely stunning, and from what we've seen so far, it looks massive in scale. While we don't know all the story details just yet, it's clear that the game is set in an era filled with political intrigue, warfare, and deep martial arts traditions. Speaking of combat, there's a lot to get excited about. You've got Chinese martial arts, weapon skills, bows, arrows, long swords, twin blades, and even Tai Chi techniques. It's a mix of fast, fluid combat and strategic mastery, making every fight feel intense and cinematic. If you look at the visuals, you might notice a bit of a Ghost of Tsushima vibe, while the movement and combat mechanics seem to take some inspiration from Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. And if that wasn't enough, there's even a touch of Assassin's Creed parkour in there. It's one of those games where you can spot different influences, but in the end, what really matters is how everything comes together. And from what we've seen so far, Where Winds Meet could be something truly special. We'll find out for sure when it launches sometime in 2025 for PS5, PC, and mobile. Can't wait to see how this one plays out. At number 8, we have The Wayward Realms, an open-world fantasy RPG from a couple of former Elder Scrolls developers. If you're a fan of those classic games, this one is definitely going to feel familiar. What makes The Wayward Realms really interesting is its design philosophy. The developers are aiming to blend modern technology and mechanics with the ideas behind Daggerfall, the second Elder Scrolls game from 1996. That means we're getting a massive, procedurally generated world, much like the original Elder Scrolls Arena, but with a more handcrafted feel to it. Visually and mechanically, it looks like it's trying to capture that old-school RPG magic, but with a fresh, modern touch. And honestly, I kinda miss those old Elder Scrolls games, their quirks, their jankiness, but in a way that made them special. They were ahead of their time in terms of scale, even if things could get a little repetitive. As for the release date, we don't have an exact one yet, but The Wayward Realms is currently in development for PC and is expected to launch sometime this year. Definitely one to keep an eye on. At number 7, we have Ballad of Antara, a free-to-play action RPG that, at first glance, shares some similarities with Genshin Impact. But while Genshin leans into a more colorful, Zelda-like aesthetic, Ballad of Antara takes a darker, more intense approach. It features a multi-character system and might even have gacha mechanics, but the combat, that's where things get really interesting. From what we've seen, it moves faster than Dark Souls, yet has some of that Elden Ring-style fluidity. There's even a bit of Monster Hunter influence in the way the world and battles play out. And if you've been keeping an eye on Black Myth, Wukong, you might notice some similarities there too. Story-wise, it gives off a bit of a Zelda vibe, except instead of Ganon, the world is being consumed by an unknown malice known simply as the Mist. It's a mysterious and intriguing setup that could make for an unforgettable adventure. With its beautiful visuals, fast-paced combat, and deep mechanics, Ballad of Antara looks like it could be something really special. It's set to launch on PS5 sometime this year, and I, for one, can't wait to see how it all comes together. At number 6, we have Assassin's Creed Shadows, and let's be real, Ubisoft has a lot to prove with this one. Over the past few years, the Assassin's Creed franchise has had its ups and downs, and fans have been waiting for a return to form. This game might just be the one to do it. What makes Shadows stand out is its dual protagonist system. You'll play as Yasuke, a real historical figure bringing a brutal tank-style combat approach. Then there's the stealth-focused female assassin, who's an entirely fictional character. This mix of brutal action and classic stealth is something we haven't seen in a while, and it's got a lot of people excited. Ubisoft seems to have taken lessons from Mirage, a game that got a mixed response but was appreciated for bringing back some old-school Assassin's Creed elements. Shadows might strike a balance between tight, focused gameplay and large-scale exploration. Now, will it be a great game? That's the big question. Ubisoft knows how much is riding on this, and if they get it right, this could be one of the most important Assassin's Creed games ever. If they don't, well, let's just hope they do. Assassin's Creed Shadows is set to launch on March 20th for Xbox Series XS, PS5, PC, streaming platforms, and even iPad. At number 5, we have Avowed, an upcoming RPG from Obsidian Entertainment. And let's be honest, if there's one studio that knows how to make a solid RPG, it's Obsidian. Set in the Pillars of Eternity universe, this game is a first-person action RPG, and at first glance it gives off some serious Skyrim vibes. But that's actually a good thing. You're thrown into a world dealing with a deadly plague, and as expected, you're the one fighting against it. Now here's the thing. If Avowed wasn't being made by Obsidian, I might not be as excited. On the surface, it could seem like just another fantasy RPG. But because it's Obsidian, the expectations are high. These are the people who gave us Fallout, New Vegas, and The Outer Worlds, so they know how to craft deep, choice-driven RPGs. If they pull this off, Avowed could be something special. We won't have to wait long to find out. It's launching on February 18th for Xbox Series XS and PC. Can't wait to see how this one turns out. At number 4, we have Kingdom Come: Deliverance II, a sequel that's been a long time coming. If you enjoyed the first game but wanted a deeper, more refined experience, this one is exactly what you've been waiting for. The developers have made some serious upgrades to the gameplay systems, making everything feel more immersive and polished. If you've seen Jake's breakdown in Before You Buy or 10 Things They Don't Tell You, you already know this game is a solid pick. Bottom line, if you liked the first Kingdom Come, you're probably going to love this one. And the best part, it's already out. So if you're even a little bit interested, now's the time to jump in. This one definitely delivers. At number 3, we have Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, a dark fantasy RPG with a unique turn-based combat system. There are some real-time elements, but at its core, it sticks to strategic turn-based gameplay. The story revolves around a mysterious woman known as the Paintress. She has a terrifying ability. Whenever she paints an age onto her massive canvas, everyone of that age perishes. Your mission? Stop her before she strikes again. As the name suggests, this is the 33rd expedition to take her down. But something feels off. I can't shake the feeling that these expeditions might actually be fueling her power, rather than stopping her. Maybe, just maybe, the protagonist is destined to become the next Paintress. It's just a theory, but I can't wait to find out if I'm right. Clair Obscur. Expedition 33 is set to launch on April 24th for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. Keep an eye on this one. At number 2, we have Wu Chang: Fallen Feathers, a straight-up Souls-like action RPG. And honestly, I have no problem calling it that. Some people might, but let's be real. The genre is here to stay, and I'm all for it. This one is set during the Ming Dynasty, but don't expect a history lesson, it's full-blown dark fantasy. A mysterious plague is sweeping through the land, turning humans into monstrous creatures. It's called the Feathering Disease, and here's the twist: you're infected too. But instead of just fighting against it, you're also learning to harness its power. The question is, are you trying to cure yourself, or are you embracing the transformation? That remains to be seen. What I do know is that the game looks stunning, with a unique aesthetic and an eerie, high-energy atmosphere. Wu Chang: Fallen Feathers is set to launch sometime this year on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. Definitely one to watch. And finally, at number 1, we have the Gothic 1 remake. The original Gothic was a game that some praised for being way ahead of its time, while others found it, well, pretty janky. This time, Alchemia Interactive is handling the remake, and visually, it's already a huge step up. Their goal? To modernize the game while keeping its core essence intact. Now, I know Gothic fans love Piranha Bytes, and this was the studio's very first game. But honestly, by the time we got to Elex, I was feeling a bit burned out on their formula. That's why I'm actually really excited about this remake. If done right, it has the potential to take a beloved classic and make it feel fresh, immersive, and, most importantly, way less janky. The Gothic 1 remake is set to release sometime this year on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. Definitely one to keep on your radar. Don't forget to subscribe for the latest gaming updates. Hit that like button if you love RPGs, and drop a comment below. Which RPG are you most excited for in 2025?